Active Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody is enjoying their Wednesday. It's hot, it's humid, it's a little steamy out there. Dew points are climbing well into the 60s. We have a lot of sun, and I'm happy to report it's not going to rain today. So yesterday's flooding, that is behind us. Today, things are pretty quiet. But the reason we're taking a quick look on the Facebook Live here, Twitter, YouTube, we want to talk about tomorrow's system. We have some severe weather potentially moving back into the picture. I want to thank everybody for joining us on whatever platform you're using this afternoon, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you're using. We have some more weather to talk about. We're in sort of an every other day rain weather pattern around here, and the humidity is not going to get any better, at least over the next 2 or 3 days. Those of you that dislike the humidity, we're going to touch on that by late weekend and more so next week. We have a nice drier air mass settling in. It's been quite some time. I think the last time we had temperatures below 60 degrees for nighttime temperatures and lower humidity with dew points in the 50s was pretty much, at least mid 50s for dew points, was back on June 26th. That was a long time ago. So let's waste no time and take a look at where we are right now. Old Orchard Beach, not a bad place to be, right? 83 degrees. Look at all the people in the water. At last check, we had air temperatures in the 80s, but water temperatures have been hanging out in the 60s, mid to upper 60s. It's about as warm as it gets in the Gulf of Maine here. All right, let's talk about our system for tomorrow. Let's start you off tonight. No weather-related problems are expected if your plans take you out and about in a warm and muggy, sort of a sultry late July evening. I do not anticipate any weather-related problems for tonight. Tomorrow, however, things will start to change. And what's happening here, we have a front ready to make its way into our region right in here. And there's a little warm front right in here, and kind of make out where that is. A little center of low pressure right up in the Great Lakes here. And that will be moving into our region tomorrow. The way I think it's going to go down, we have 2 rounds of precipitation. There'll be a midday round, probably between 10 a.m. and about 2 p.m., and a late day round, 3 p.m. to about 6 p.m. That late day round, that one should bring our greatest chance for severe weather. And just about everything is on the table with this one. We've had a lot of flooding lately. That is on the table. There is the potential for flooding. Good news is these systems will be moving. So unlike last night's systems where they're pretty much staying still, that's what produced the flooding. The bigger problem, I think, will be the potential for severe storms late in the day. Damaging wind will be an issue. Hail may become an issue as well. And there is a slight chance for an isolated tornado in southern parts of Maine and southern parts of New Hampshire. So let's waste no time and take a look at the timing of this. Again, no problems tonight or tomorrow morning. If your plans take you out and about tomorrow morning, we're in pretty good shape. But notice by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we have this front that's trying to snake its way through here. It's going to get very, very humid tomorrow. Dew point temperatures are going to climb into the 70s, and that's going to just add more fuel to some of these thunderstorms. And I'm happy to report Friday looks good. It's just going to be hot. I don't think we're getting any thunderstorms on Friday. We'll see a lot of sun. Should be a good day for maybe heading out to the beach. If you work outdoors, it's one of those days we'll just need to be hydrated. So we're going to highlight the timing of some of the severe weather for tomorrow and the threats here. So the Storm Prediction Center down in Norman, Oklahoma has already placed our region in a risk for scattered severe storms. Damaging wind is the primary threat. Areas in yellow, we have our greatest chance for damaging wind, potentially some hail, and even an isolated tornado. And the SPC also has southern parts of Maine and New Hampshire in a 5% risk for a tornado. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's actually greater than 5% because the way this is defined, you have 5% chance for a tornado 25 miles out from any given point within that tan area right there. So the bottom line here is when we usually get our tornadoes in Maine, it's usually in this category right here. So I think there probably will be at least a pretty good chance for getting some tornado warnings tomorrow. If I were to highlight an area right now that looks at least greatest for some tornadoes, it's probably right in here, right in there. I think southern parts of New Hampshire stands the greatest chance for maybe getting some of those spinners, as we call them, during the afternoon hours. So let's go through time here. We'll start you off tomorrow. And again, no problems tonight. So we're fast forwarding right into the day tomorrow. This is about lunchtime, and we highlighted about 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. for round number 1. This is round number 1, trying to get through southern and central Maine. You see it right here. Some of these may become strong to severe, but I think our greater chance for getting some severe weather will be during the second round. There probably will be a lull. The sun may poke out again, and it's going to get very, very humid. Let's take you through the afternoon hours now. And this is the line we want to keep an eye on here. This is about 2:30 in the afternoon, right in there. That line should bring with it our greatest chance for severe weather. So I want to highlight 3 p.m. to about 6 p.m. for our greatest chance for severe storms in southern and central Maine. This line will be snaking its way through, and the atmosphere will be most unstable in this time range right here. That's about 4:30 or so. So we'll probably have to play with these times just a little bit in the coming days, but that's what we're thinking a day out. About 24 hours from now, there will be some severe storms rolling through the area. And it looks like it's gone by 8 p.m. We'll start to see some improvement. The skies will clear out. Tomorrow night, things quiet down, and we will see some sun make an appearance here. So Friday looks to be a pretty nice looking day. Let's just take a look at some of the comments coming in. I see a few of you kind of checking in already. I want to stop the storm tracker tomorrow around 2:30 in the afternoon, and we'll leave it on this graphic for just a minute here. Let's see here. Barbie says, let's bring up some of her questions. Hot and sunny day in Sydney today. Hope you're all well. And the days are being good to you. Well, thank you, Barbie. Appreciate that. Yeah, I love summer. Hey, it's finally summer, right? After all the cool and wet conditions we had in June. It's nice to get summer weather to return. Today's a perfect summer day, isn't it? Everybody's talking about the perfect weather. Paul says it's beautiful out there in Stoneham. I like it. Beth says hello. Hello to you, Beth. Thanks for checking in this afternoon. Sydney hates the storms. I agree with you. Nobody wants the storms. But it happens, a couple times every summer. We have a tornado threat. You might be wondering, how often do we get tornadoes in Maine? We average two per year. So we get them. Happens every now and then. But again, damaging wind is the primary threat here. Daryl says, rain, go away. He's looking to get rid of the rainfall. I'm with you. It's been a wet season so far. Katrina says we don't need any more rain. We've had enough of it. Remember last year at this time, we were talking drought. That's not the case this year, right? Christopher's checking in from Lewiston. Yeah, you guys got lit up yesterday. We got pounded. Worst flooding you've seen in a long time. Yeah, there was a flood warning. Christopher, did you get your, I'm wondering, did you get the alerts on your phone? I know the EAS alerts were activated yesterday, so I'm curious to see how many people in Lewiston got those alerts on their phone with the flood warnings. There's two things that creates flooding in Maine, at least flash flooding. Two major things, at least. One is topography. All the rain is nowhere to go in the mountains except down the hills into the streams and into the rivers as well. That's when you get road washouts, culvert washouts. Those areas are most prone to flash flooding. Number two is areas with a lot of concrete and pavement and poor drainage areas. And that's what we saw yesterday in Lewiston. We saw big problems there. I mean, anytime you get, a lot of concrete pavement, that water, 4 inches of rain is nowhere to go except down into the drains. And those drains were overwhelmed in Lewiston yesterday. It gets even worse in the fall when the leaves clog the drains, right? Chris got the alert. Oh, that's good to know. All right. Hey, Chris, how are you? Thanks for checking in. Donna got the alerts as well. Yeah, I got the message that the EAS alerts on your phone were going to be activated. So we hopped on the air and we made sure everybody was updated there as well. But yeah, I'm glad everybody stayed safe yesterday. That flooding was something we do not want to see. And hopefully you go a long, long time without seeing that again in Lewiston and Auburn. So that was kind of a nutty day out there. All right, let's take these comments off for a minute. Hope I answered all your questions. I briefly want to touch on the humidity that we've had. Those of you who might be wondering, when is the humidity moving out? Well, dew points are hanging out in the 60s right now. Also, just kind of a side note right here, I've noticed that there's, as of late last night, early this morning, Lewiston, at least at the airport in Auburn here, we're not seeing any reports right now. I wonder if the flooding and the rain yesterday had an effect on the ASOS station at the airport right there. But dew point temperatures are hanging out in the 60s. When we have dew points in the 60s, we are in the sticky to muggy category right there. And we are going to hang out in that region over the next couple of days here. Notice we're on the muggy meter in the uncomfortable to oppressive category. Notice those dew points climbing into the 70s tomorrow. And eventually we will start to see some improvement as we go into a late weekend. So hopefully this graphic, this is the one I wanted to show you here. So with dew points in the 60s and 70s, that's about as humid as it gets here in Maine. And we have that for today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. But look at Sunday. This is what we've been waiting for, folks. Dew points falling into the 50s. It's going to feel like a cool Canadian air mass settling in fall. I mean, this is going to be nice. Nighttime temps will be slipping into the 50s. I think the mountain valleys will dip into the 40s. That's right. It's that time of year. We usually get one of these in August, but it's happening a little bit sooner here. So we will get some improvement in the humidity department starting on Sunday, and most of next week will showcase low humidity as well. Quick sneak peek of what we have here on the 7-day forecast. We'll be doing this on CBS 13 Live at 5, coming up in just a few minutes here, actually about 28 minutes or so. Tomorrow's our next weather warn day for severe thunderstorms. We're highlighting 2 rounds, one tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. That should be the weaker of the two. The stronger of the two will be 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. in that window. I think damaging wind, maybe some hail, but damaging wind is the primary threat. And even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out in this sort of setup here. Friday looks nice. Some more rain moves in Saturday. I still think we'll get into some late day sunny breaks Saturday. So hopefully that will work out. If your plans take you out and about here, there may be a rumble of thunder. Sunday's the best part of the weekend. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday all will showcase low humidity. This really looks nice. We're going to go from 80s to near 90, back down to the 70s. For most of next week. This is something we've been waiting for quite some time here. All right, if you're just joining us on the Facebook Live, thanks for checking in this afternoon. We're going to wrap it up here, but if folks just chiming in, I noticed we have a few more popping on. Briefly want to just outline the severe setup one more time and before we let you go, and we'll take a look at what's happening with the latest stuff coming up on CBS 13 Live at 5. In about 27 minutes or so. All right, so tomorrow, 2 rounds. First round comes in 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. 10 a.m., 2 p.m. It's this round right here. There will be some rain showers. Some may become strong to severe as far as the thunderstorm activity goes. I think there'll be a break. And then the main line comes in late in the day. That's about 2:30. So I want to highlight 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with that line right there. That line will feature our greatest chance for damaging wind, maybe some flooding, possibly some hail, and an isolated tornado that swings through southern and central Maine between 3 p.m. and about 6 p.m. All right, we're going to leave it there, I think. It looks like a few more questions are popping in. Alicia says she's late. Oh, that's all right, Alicia. I know you're busy. A lot of things happening this time of year. I saw your post just in time to cover my garden and spare it from the hail. Oh my goodness, you got hail. Yeah, you don't want your leaves looking like Swiss cheese. I've had a hailstorm in my pumpkin patch, and that's no fun, right? Travis says, no more rain. Oh my goodness. Will there be any spin-up tornadoes on Thursday in Auburn? I think the greatest chance for spin-up tornadoes, Brandon, tomorrow will probably be south of Lewiston. And, there is the chance, but I think our greatest chance is in southern New Hampshire and perhaps into York County in southern Maine. And that will be late in the day, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But yeah, there definitely is a chance for a spin-up tornado. All right. Sydney says, Raymond tomorrow for tornado. We are. You think you're going to get one in Raymond? I hope you don't get a tornado tomorrow. But if you do, we'll be here for it. We'll tell you. We'll tell you when everything's going to go down. But right now, I think there is that chance. Yes, it is a slight chance. We only average about 2 tornadoes a year. So, Chris got the alert. All right. That was yesterday. How bad's the wind going to be in Sanford? If you get one of those cells late in the day, you could get some damaging wind, Kathy. It's hard to say where those cells are going to set up. Yes, it was late. Okay. All right. What about Brunswick? Heidi says, Brunswick. Yeah, I think you're probably going to get into some strong, severe storms. That will be late in the day tomorrow, Heidi. So tomorrow's the day. Did we get a microburst? You know what? I'm wondering that same thing, Noreen. I saw a wind signature on the radar in the town of Greene. And I remember thinking in my head last night, if there's a microburst that happens, it's going to be in the town of Greene. So if you have any damage reports, trees down, for instance, love to see it. Love to see a picture. Send me a picture. Because it definitely looked like on the radar that the thunderstorm was collapsing on itself. You got a huge downburst and potentially a microburst there. So yeah, absolutely. Thanks for checking in. Patty, what about Biddeford Saco? Yeah, you're going to get it tomorrow. There'll be some strong to severe storms. Nikki says she was hiding under her bed. Yeah, that was a big storm yesterday. A lot of rain. All right, we'll leave it there. I got to get ready for the newscast tonight. Thanks for everybody who's checking in today. It's nice to hear from everybody. We'll have, of course, the latest updates coming up in just a little bit on CBS 13 live at 5, 5:30, 6 o'clock, CBS 13 at 7, Fox 23 at 10, and CBS 13 at 11. Hope everybody has a nice night. Stay cool.